Welcome back to How This Mom Does It, and today I'm going to be continuing on with the series where I go over each subject of our 2016-2017 school year in a little bit more detail. So today I'm going to be going over what we are using for phonics for my first/second grader for the 2016-2017 school year. If you're interested in seeing what we are using and seeing a little bit more detail, then stay tuned. Okay, so for my first/second grader, and she is first grade, but she's doing a lot of second grade work, we are going to be continuing on basically with what we used last year, just moving up a grade. So we did Plaid Phonics last year and the Abeka first grade phonics readers, and we're just basically moving up to second grade. So for our workbook and the main teaching part of the curriculum for our phonics, we're using, and it used to be actually Modern Curriculum Press's Plaid Phonics, but it's now Pearson Phonics. So the only really way you can tell that it's Plaid Phonics is the plaid in the background, but this is basically what Modern Curriculum Press's Plaid Phonics used to be. So we used A last year, we're using B this year, and this book does have color and pictures in it, and I've found that with my daughter, she does a lot better with color and pictures. I originally thought it was the opposite, and I tried to find things with very little color and pictures, and that just didn't work. She really needs to have more color and something to grab her attention and hold it. And this really, she enjoys doing it. She doesn't ask to do it, but she doesn't really complain about doing it. She'll do it pretty much independently. Every once in a while she'll have a question as to what they're asking her to do, or sometimes what a picture is, because sometimes some of the pictures, sometimes I've even had to look to try and figure out what some of the pictures are. But for the most part, she really likes it. And we break it down to where she does basically 3 days a week she's doing the Plaid Phonics and doing about 2 pages. And we're just kind of going through it a little bit at a time. We are also using, our charter school has a textbook with a practice book. It's the Houghton Mifflin, I believe. And we're going to be getting that from them as well. I don't have that yet, and she loves that as well. She couldn't choose what she wanted, so we're going to be using both. And we did that last year, actually, and it worked well to combine the Plaid Phonics, the Abeka, and the Houghton Mifflin language arts curriculum, and we kind of mixed it all together, and it worked fine for her. So we're going to try it again this year and see if it works, because she requested all 3 things. So I'm trying to, if your child asks to do work, you want to try and give them what they want. So we're going to try and do that again this year. So alternating with the Plaid Phonics, on the days when she's not doing that, she's going to be doing more of the practice book work with the Houghton Mifflin book. So that is our plan and how I'm going to be using the Plaid Phonics. Again, if your child likes color and pictures, there is some writing, but it's not a lot. And that's another thing my daughter really likes too, is this book doesn't have a lot of writing in it. And there's a lot of fill in the blanks with one word. There's some puzzles and just some fun things, and there's even some little cutout books that they tear it out and fold it, and she really liked that too, because she could take them and have little books. So we're going to be using that again, and then we're going to be using the Abeka Level 2 or Grade 2 set of phonics readers. This is just the first one. There's a set. This is Grade 2. You can see it. So there's a list of books for each grade. She did first grade last year, and she's moving on to 2nd grade this year. And I have been fortunate enough to find these at a local used bookstore. That's why you can see someone wrote their name on the front. That wasn't us. But when you get it for like $1 or $2, as opposed to, I think these run around $15 if you bought them independently, not in a set. So that's a pretty good savings. So I don't really mind if someone wrote a little bit on it. But we're going to be using those again this year. And she really likes the Becca readers. She asks to do them. She goes through them really quickly. I basically assign her pages and she reads them. We usually do a lesson because they're kind of broken down by story. So if you can kind of see, they break it down by story, and each story is a couple pages. So if it's a really long story, I'll have her cut it into 2 parts and do one part one day and one part another. But if they're pretty short, then I'll have her do a story or 2. And we do that a few times a week. So that's pretty much what we're going to be using for phonics. And like I did mention, in addition to this, we are using the Houghton, I believe it's Houghton Mifflin textbook and practice book. I just haven't got that from our charter school yet. But we will be using that in addition to this. And in a later video, I will go over our lesson plan spreadsheet and how I integrate everything together and plan it all out. But until then, this is what our phonics is going to be for the 2016-2017 school year. If you like this, click like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.